got time. Some of y'all might like that shit, but all of that clapping and snapping and head rolling and yes and nobody want to hear all that bullshit. Maybe y'all do. Y'all do. I can't watch that shit. Get on my motherfucking nerves, right? So they could be skinny and still be a mammy. Stop all them theatrics and overdoing it and being theatrical and shit. Just fucking talk. Now you can have passion in your talk. I don't mind if you raise your voice a little bit, you use your hands, but all of that. Yeah, and that's what part of why I left the church. I got tired of all that bullshit on the pulpit too. If you don't stop clapping and stumping and fucking yelling and crying and falling out and shit, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That shit gets on my goddamn nerves. I'm just saying. And I look at like the outcome. If white folks love them that much, it's because they just entertainment to them. I know for a fact there are no white folks sitting back saying, "Oh my God, Diamond and Silk, I just love them." And they may say it. When they say it, they don't mean it in that way. They mean it in the matter of these bitches is funny. They make me laugh. They out here speaking against their own people. You know, we just love these. We just love these black women who just like to tell it like it is. Like they're laughing at these bitches. They not laughing with them. Trust and believe me. They laughing at you. They not laughing with you. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all swear they the truth. I would never find out because just like some of y'all say, y'all can't listen to me. Not y'all that's watching now because y'all here, but you know how many people be like, I can't listen to me. She cuts too much and she loud. Fine, get the fuck on out of here then because I can't listen to Diamond Silk either. So I feel you. You just not my cup of tea, baby, and I'm not yours. That's all right with me. Okay. Um, but with that said, y'all, I guess to get to this conversation, I will see if later I wanted to answer some more emails. But you guys have been asking me questions. Look, here go another one on here. Somebody did ask me. I will say this, and y'all have to forgive me if I don't have all your names. Somebody asked me about why it is that I would rather send karma to Dr. Watkins and not send justice to him. He said, because you know, Shango is the God over justice. So just send him justice. What you waiting on? And so I want to explain to this brother that it just depends on what people think because I think that karma is justice. It's called, he told me that he thinks karma is like that white witch word. And so karma is for white people, kind of Christian, like you waiting. And I want to explain to y'all that that's not what karma is at all. So I want to say that to him, that to me, karma is justice. Is ultimate justice because what happens is in life is you walk through this motherfucker, you leave these footprints of energy that you have planted seeds, and everything you do, eventually them footsteps come right behind you and get your ass. So see, when karma comes, karma tends to open up everything in life that you have ever done wrong to people and even good that you have done, and everything comes back to you in the measure that you have given it out. And so see, true justice is karma because you can hide shit from the eyes of people, but life, you can never hide your bullshit from. So life knows everything that you've done. The ancestors know everything that you've done. The universe that's coming after your ass, they know what you've done. So you get away with nothing. So true justice is the shit that you get payback for that you did in a dark room in a dirty ass corner. And you never thought nobody saw you, bitch. The one that matters saw you. And it's coming for you, right? And so this is why I love karma on people because see, I could ask Shango to go after him and just get me justice for what he did to me. But I'm just one person. I don't want him to just get justice in life for what he did to me. No, no, no. No, no, no. See, I want everything that he has ever done to anybody wrong, and all the women that have worked with him, and all the people he has played like his daughter who can't stand him, and everybody else he's done wrong to. I want all of that to come and get him, not just what he did to me. So to me, karma is a much bigger thing, right? So this is my understanding. I should be banned from YouTube for my foul mouth. Wow, wait a minute. Are you a white person? Okay, your message was deleted. Outgoing bot. Is that what you is? Or are you a bot? Or are you for real? Or are you just using the bot name? We could delete you, but it's funny because only white people come here and say shit like that. Mom, I should be banned. Wow, white folks who live in the United States of America, who swear this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Bitch, it's called the freedom of speech. The truth is, it's some shit I really, really want to say that I don't say on this motherfucker for everything I do say, and I could say more. I hold back. It's called freedom of speech. Fuck y'all. It's funny how because I'm cussing. Last time I checked, you stupid motherfucker, I was 41 years old. I should be banned for cussing. The fuck is wrong with some of these stupid motherfuckers? All the shit that going on in this world, and you worried about somebody cussing? I just want to punch one of you motherfuckers in the face one day. How about that? Maybe I should be banned from fucking YouTube because I promote violence. I want to punch some of you motherfuckers in y'all face sometimes. I just wish one of you was just stupid enough to shut the fuck up at the goddamn black agenda at the door talk about, I'm here to tell that bitch to meet you how I feel to her face because I'm going to come to the door and see you. That's how much the kitty beat your ass afterwards. But I'm coming to the door. I hate you motherfuckers who sit y'all dumb asses, especially you white people, behind this fucking screen and talk all that shit. But if you run into me and you see me walking through King Supers, you gonna smile at me with that dumbass white people smile. Good afternoon. Like you like fucking black people. I bet you won't say. See, this is what white people do. They're scared to say that shit to black people face. They go on YouTube and they live vicariously through talking shit under fake fucking accounts because they don't know how to go out and really say that shit to some fucking black people in their face because I get your white ass beat. You say that shit to me. You can say what you want. Just don't put your hands on me because you will get your white ass beat. I'm just saying. But y'all kill me with that. Because half y'all that stand behind the screen and say stuff would never say any of those things in real life to a black person when you see them. You say that shit behind the screen in a fake ass account. You say that shit at home with your white ass mama and your cousins and your aunties and your nieces and your nephews while you feeling on them and shit. You know all that good stuff. You say that shit there. You don't come out and say that shit to our faces. So that's just what's funny to me. You know, even people that ain't right. Like keep that same energy when you see a motherfucker in the street. Instead of just having it on YouTube, bitch. Nah. I know I cussed you. I should be banned. I should be banned. What should be banned is the fucking coronavirus, y'all. So let's talk about that. Y'all do me a favor, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're not. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified. YouTube is not hating. And you can text the word Black Agenda to 484848. So we can text you whenever the fuck they don't, right? But you got to sign up for the texting service. Let's talk about the coronavirus. How many of you guys don't think that this is a big deal? How many of you guys think that it's a joke? Now let's go straight to what people keep saying and why they're not worried about it. This is what I've heard. So I've heard people say that you think it's a joke. Okay, somebody said they think it's a joke. Okay. It's not a big deal. Okay. No, this is a big deal. It's not a joke, but it's not a big deal. Okay, joke, big deal. All right, we gotta mix in the room. Okay. Yeah, I'm not running around here living worried my life either about that. But I will tell you that I've heard people say that they're not worried about it, and y'all can tell me if you feel okay, it's a joke. It's not a joke 100, all right? It's real. Okay, well, let me tell you this. This is what I've heard from people. For most of y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any other reasons, but my understanding is that a lot of y'all that say it's a joke, it's not something to take as a big deal, is because y'all sit back and look at the numbers of people who die from the flu every year, right? And so y'all saying, well, this is how many people die from the flu, and so it's not that big of a deal as the flu, so why are we worried about it? So this is what I hear a lot of people say. That it's a joke and all these people are not going to die. Somebody said it's made. I believe it was created too. But my question would be, is just because we believe it's created, so then you think there's a conspiracy theory, and you think the government is telling us that this is coming for what? What would be the purpose of the, because this is why I want to break down. When you talk about conspiracy theories and that people are saying that shit is not what it's supposed to be, there has to be a reason behind it. And I want y'all to tell me what would be the reason for what's happening, or do y'all know what's happening? Let's talk about first what's happening in all of these other countries, right? So first of all, okay, everybody says that this started off in China. Yes, right? Then everybody's over there getting sick. Do y'all know what's going on over there? Do you know how many deaths have been reported? 2,000. Over 2,000 people have died, right? This is what they say in the news. How many of you have actually been watching Chinese news? Like, go actually watch the news of these countries and you will get a bigger story. If you go on YouTube, and some of these videos have been deleted. I've seen them. I don't know if some of you have. Maybe you have. You can testify to this. If they gone, they gone. Yes, that number is very incorrect. That's exactly where I was going, G. And that number is very incorrect. The word is that number is a lie, and that it's more like tens of thousands and not going on up to the 100,000, right? This is how many people have really died. Now, if you think that it's that few, let me tell you something that's a proven fact. Instead of listening to what people people saying, I want us to watch what's going on. Now, there is a city in China called Wuhan, China. Look it up. It's Wuhan, right? And so in this particular place in China, I want you to know, yes, more like 70,000, right? So I want you to know that in Wuhan, China, there is a whole city of people. And that's the crazy part. Red Eyes is not really a ghost city. It's a city of people who have been locked in their homes. So you can go and find videos of people that are showing their cell phone out the window on all of these apartments around. You hear nothing but people screaming because they have locked these people in their buildings. They tell them they are quarantined. They are not allowed to come out. And they're supposed to be bringing them food and water once a week. But there's also been reports and stuff coming out saying, police is shitty everywhere, y'all. That the police have been stealing the food, keeping it for themselves. So now people is hungry, folks is in there starving and shit, right? Y'all, I got some smart people on my live. Yes, Shamika, somebody said it's because of the 5G towers. Now, you know that China, and we're getting ready to go into this 5G. If y'all don't know what 5G is, right, it's the new level. I told y'all, it's that microwave force field. At the end of the day, there's gonna come a time. Didn't I tell y'all to go look on the website of the government where they're talking about this weaponry that they have, and they're using it on soldiers, and I forget what the hell it's called. I told y'all so much about it, I can't think of it right now. And it's on their website, and it's this machine that they use to do like a force field that basically will microwave your body. So if you stand there, it's like you're getting microwaved. So it's a way of moving the masses of the crowd because you're going to run. You can't stand against it. It's something they can enact. And if they were to put that shit, it would be like a force field. You could go to walk out your door, and the 5G of the microwaves and all those things will keep you from walking out your door. You're just going to stand out there and get microwaved to death from the inside the fuck out. I'm not crazy, y'all. This shit is real. And obviously, some of y'all in my chat know it. If y'all don't, y'all better go find the fuck out, right? So understand that this 5G, though, just went up in China at the same time, but it does mimic some of these things. And it may be a way to hide what's coming on because it is another weapon that they're getting ready to use. This 5G is just something they're getting ready to use to be weaponized against everybody as well. We have no idea what's coming for us. We don't. We don't. And the stuff that the government will do to us is crazy as fuck. So I want y'all to understand, yes, I believe that this 5G stuff is kind of tied to it. But also, let me tell you something else in Wuhan, China, though. So they have people in China that are not in apartment buildings. Some of these apartment buildings, let me tell you how they can't come outside. They literally went and welded the front door to the apartment building shut. So you cannot get it. Then they have told everybody to stay in their house. And if you come out on the street, you will be taken into quarantine. The only time you should come the fuck out your house is when somebody dies in your home. You need to put the dead on the curb. Now, I don't know if the video's still up there because I've seen people take down the fucking videos, but there was videos of somebody driving through the community and there are dead bodies with sheets over them in front of everybody's house like you take out your trash. Does this sound like the flu to you? But see, they're not showing you that, so they're hiding that from us. They're not making that so prevalent. And the video of the woman that did this, I have searched and searched and searched, and I can't find that shit anymore because somebody was saying that too. They keep taking shit down. One man was talking about what they were doing over there in the country to everybody with the coronavirus and what was happening to them. You seen the video? Okay, good. See, I'm not the only one, but it's not there anymore. And they actually came into his house and busted to his shit while he was on a live because he and they're telling too much business. Took all his videos down and his family is crying because they ain't seen this man in days and they don't know where he at. Do you know that in China they have opened up 4 crematories because that's how many bodies they got to burn? That's not like 2,000 dead to you? Like, fuck what the numbers are telling you. I want you to pay attention to what the fuck is going on. Does it sound like they need to quarantine everybody in their house and make shit like a ghost town? Tell you to put your dead body out, put your dead relatives on the curb like trash, and they taking everybody's body and they done built 4 really quickly, built and came over 4 crematories so that they can burn these bodies. There's a video right now you can go find, which is was played on the Chinese news. You can go watch in China. It was actually on their news, and you can look it up on YouTube. There's a woman in a cab. They said that her claims have not been substantiated, but she was in a cab and she was telling the guy that she had just come from the hospital and that she was in there and that there were people that were sick from the coronavirus and that they had folks quarantined in another room. But she also said that these people were said that these people were sickly, they were old, and they were getting ready to die. Like they weren't getting ready to live, but they don't have any medication. All the fuck they got is oxygen. They don't have it because everything is shut down. So I'm about to tell you how coronavirus is going to come for all of us in a major way when we don't realize how it affects us all, right? So understand they said that she said that they were putting these people in body bags to go to the crematory and they were still alive. She said that they bound the man's hand, bound his feet, and he was really old, so he was barely moving, but he wasn't dead. And they put him in the body bag and zipped him up. She's seen it to do that to two people. And she said, well, and the man said, that's cruel. Why would you burn them alive? She said, but they're going to die anyway, and we don't want to spread this shit. And they don't have anything at the hospital. All they have is oxygen. There's nothing we can give them for these people to die. Think about that shit. Ain't that fucked up? You catch corona and just be sick and dead and have flu like symptoms and then a motherfucker just burn you alive. Like, could you smother me first? Just put the pillow over my head, bitch. You just gonna send me to the fire? That's fucked up, right? Shout out to you, Tiana. Yep, she said China is kidnapping people who are speaking out about what's going on in China, and China also just had a hospital collapse with infected people in it. This is what I'm saying. We're not keeping it. Okay, now if anybody who's gonna be like, that's China, that's not America. What I'm trying to tell you is that if this is what's happening there, I'm not even saying that they're gonna burn us alive. What I'm telling you is this: is that if this corona thing is that serious, people say that's not real. Oh, it is very real. What are you talking about? Go to the China news. They will tell you that Wuhan, China. Now, if you're talking about the lady who said that that's not real, I don't know. This is what I need y'all to understand, that you don't know what martial law is. You don't know what the fuck happens in devastating times. Or maybe we do. Can we go back to Katrina? How many people remember Katrina? That was a state of emergency, so they claim. You do know that those stories were true as fuck. I know people from Katrina. They let those people die. You don't think that they will do that to people? How many of you remember the people on there talking about, oh, well, they're going to drop us water. We're doing fine. We're at the Superdome or whatever the fuck with their baby. 3 days later, this bitch crying and her baby ain't woke up and won't get up because your baby dead, lady. People were beating up old folks and weak kids and taking their water so that they could survive because it was survival of the fittest. There were people being raped in the fucking Thunderdome, the Superdome, when the goddamn when it was nighttime because there was no power. There was nothing but mayhem. But check this out. Y'all think this shit is a joke? They were separating family members. When the buses finally came, you know how many kids was missing from their parents and they still never got their kids back? So to act like in the states of emergency that things like this don't happen. Now, I get it. Y'all saying y'all don't believe they put these people in bags. Now, let's talk about China, though, for a minute. I'm not saying America would do that. China is one of those places that has population control. Do you know that because you can only have certain kids, there are people who give birth to girls and don't want a girl and they murder their children? So you're speaking about a society that you don't really understand how they work. These motherfuckers will kill their children. There are plenty of dead baby girls that come up. Matter of fact, they've killed so many baby girls because of population control. Yes, their population is out of fucking control. Shout out to you, the smoothiest. Thank you for that. Absolutely, because you're right. We got to not be willing to disregard it because it just sounds crazy. Because crazy shit happens. Y'all got to start living in this bubble and in this little damn world, you know. Texas, I'm not upset. Why do people ask me that? How long you been watching me? Because you follow me on Instagram. I know your name. How you want to take me on a date and you think I'm upset? See, already you ain't getting no date because then you said that on Instagram on my post. If you're the same person, Michi is talking with passion. This is how I talk. So I'm not sure. You haven't seen upset. Trust me. None of y'all have seen Michi upset. I promise you. Tiana, thank you for that. I seen on the news that the coronavirus strand is mutating and a cruise ship out here in Cali is infected. Yes, we're going to get there. See, because we're going to work our way up to this. But let me tell you, in China, they have so many people, so many boys, they don't know what the fuck to do anymore. with them. They're trying to build like a big ass army because there's not enough women because they're constantly killing their daughters because they want to go and somebody said or what you said no date. Oh, so Texas Alabama boy. Do you follow me on Instagram? Because there's a Texas Alabama boy on there. Don't make me go find the comment. On my birthday. Yeah, you say that. All right, it might not have been you. But at the end of the day, guess what? Like I said, Michi's not upset. Y'all kill me with that. If y'all have a problem with the way I talk, I don't know if y'all want me to talk like real little. Like, so you know, guys, this coronavirus, that just ain't me. So I'm gonna need you to tell me who I am. If you don't like it, I'm fuck tell you. This is Michi. All right? Understand though, over there in their country, they do shit like this. So I don't understand why we would think that they wouldn't be zipping up people in bags. And you have to understand, if we are in some type of a state of emergency or any country is in a state of emergency, listen to what the lady in the cab said. The lady in the cab said that the reason the man said, why are you, shout out to you, Miss Parker, thank you for that. The man said, why would they do that? That's wrong, right? Thank you, Snuggles. I don't need a hug at all. Anyway, y'all gonna piss me off. I know you gave a donation, but I'm trying to have a conversation here, and I let people talk and talk, and I appreciate the $2 donation. Would y'all shut the fuck up now? I need a hug. Is this your first time you motherfuckers watching me? Is it? Because if it's not, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to have a conversation here about something, and you motherfuckers keep interrupting me because you think Michi's so upset. If you have a problem with that, get the fuck off my live because you motherfuckers keep interrupting this conversation and say the dumbest shit. And then you give a donation to say that shit, but you know that I read out all the donations, so you're just fucking being a distraction. Shut the fuck up. Do I need a hug? Do you need your $2 back, motherfucker? Because I want you to shut up in my chat saying dumb shit to me, okay? Shout out to you, Delaney. Thank you for that. Yes, we gonna talk about the ships and stuff that have been docked. The next motherfucker that say something stupid to me, like why am I upset? Do I need a hug? What is wrong? Don't delete that comment, right? Why you Delaney Walker? Didn't he just get a donation or was that an accident? The next person who come here and say some dumb shit like that, just please delete them, right? Oh, I get it. I can ignore some trolls, but when a motherfucker's giving a donation just to say some dumb shit, like how desperate are you to say some dumb shit like that you gave a fucking donation? Because anybody who gives a donation, I read out their stuff, I acknowledge them. So I'm saying you gave that $2 to interrupt the conversation. So donation and no donation, a motherfucker says some more dumb shit in my chat tonight. I'm gonna need you. Tonight's not tonight. We're trying to have a conversation, okay, about some serious shit. So for all you keep interrupting, I hope you get coronavirus first. I hope that shit hits you in your household and your body be on the curve in the motherfucking body bag. I hope you the first motherfucker to get corona since you think this shit is a fucking joke. Since you think we don't need to have this conversation, you want to keep interrupting it with dumb shit. I hope you get corona before anybody else, bitch. Y'all think this shit a joke. Y'all gonna be like that man. Who was that politician? He was on the news and he was like, yeah, the coronavirus is not that bad. You know what I'm saying? They're just lying. It's nothing for you to be worried about. Whoopty whoop whoop wham. And then the next day they was like, oh, this nigga got the coronavirus. That's what he get. Fact, like he don't believe in that shit. And thank you for the donation. I've seen it, but I'm not reading it out, okay? Because I'm trying to be serious. And sometimes I'm not in the mood for a joke when y'all continue to just keep cutting me off. This shit is stupid. And it's pissing me off today. Okay? I don't have that much patience today. Okay. Anyway, the woman in the cab. The reason why I'm saying what she's saying can be true is because she said that the man was like, why would they just kill these people? That's cruel. And what she said was that they don't have any medication left. That all they have is oxygen. So I want you to understand, as I was saying before, in times of martial law in any country, any place that they decide to enact that for any government, this is when you're in a state of a certain place. I want y'all to understand this since we're talking about this. You do know that when America was like, oh, fuck all you Americans, we're going to send all of your jobs overseas. Y'all do know that 90% of all of our medication and our fucking antibiotics come from China. Do y'all know that? So I want you to know that if nothing else, let's talk about the effect that will have on us in America. There won't be a bunch of medication coming into this motherfucker to help you when it comes to vaccinations for certain things or antibiotics for you being sick or just your medication. So understand, China's having a hard time keeping up with medicine to help their own people. They ain't making shit for us. They're not shipping anything in here because we're not taking anything from their country anymore. But they have so many of the products we buy. This don't affect you nothing else. Understand that the shelves are going to be very empty. Do you understand that at least? Understand that, right? So China doesn't have what they need because understand this is so bad. They are shutting down. They're telling people not to go to work. They're shutting down cities. Shit has been on motherfucking lockdown and nothing is coming the fuck back up again. So how do people go in the labs to make medicine? How do people go out there to go to work, right? Shout out to you, Jemiah Murphy. So understand, they're not able to get what they need to get and get all of their stuff taken care of, so they don't have any extra for us when it comes to antibiotics and vaccinations and all of that shit. Y'all do know that's part of the problem with America. They sourced out every fucking thing to China and everybody else because it was cheap. It took all them jobs from everybody. Y'all remember we used to have factories. I grew up in Detroit where we had Dead Man's Row. You got all them factories over there. Now they condos and motherfuckers overlooking the water to Canada. When that's where we used to find dump bodies in this bitch because it was abandoned. But we used to have warehouses. Our people used to make shit right here in America. We don't do that anymore. They sourced all that shit out, right? To import and export. And guess what? Guess who gets most of our jobs for all of our shit that we purchase and all of our products? Fucking China. So if nothing else, do you see how that will affect us? Yes, the NCAA has been canceled. We're going to get there, right? So understand that they don't have it. So when you're in a devastating position like that, where they're telling you to put bodies on the curb, this is like a Katrina. This is a disaster. This is a bad thing. So when they're taking bodies off the curb and they are burning them in these crematories and having extra crematories built because of that, understand a lot of their shit is on lockdown. People are quarantined. So I can see them running out of medication and saying we don't have anything to do, but this man is about to die, but we got to get rid of him, right? And you think that they wouldn't do that because it's inhumane? First of all, they're in a state of emergency. Second of all, I just told you, motherfuckers in China will kill their daughter because they can't have that many kids and they want a son. So it's a societal thing, but I don't have a hard time believing that they tied them old people up in body bags while they were still moving. I believe it. Shout out to you, Black Freedom. Honestly, I know this virus is bad, but I feel like the media is hyping this up because the Eli want to scare people into taking vaccinations and buy stuff. Well, I disagree with you because, to be honest, I don't think that the media in America is actually hyping it up enough. A lot of this stuff that I just told you wasn't on the American news. The American news is actually playing it down, to be honest with you. But they say, oh, we only have so many cases. You know, only 26 people died. That's what Trump said, right? He's like 8,000 people die from the flu every year. But yeah, we only a couple weeks in. Corona just got to this bitch. Yes. So now let's get away from China because this is what's going on in China where this shit originated. Let's move on. Italy is completely shut down. You can't come in, you can't come out. There's no moving. You know, America's not letting any of these motherfuckers come into the country at this point. And actually, they have quite a few deaths. And it has been there. I want to say when I read Italy, where my notes at? Was it 634 people have died in less than a month in Italy? No, it's not 8,000 like the people that die from the flu in America. But goddamn, that's 8,000 people over 365 days. When you losing that many people in less than a month, you have to look at the ratio of how fast people are dying once they catch it. The numbers. Now, they say 70 were infected in Washington State, here in our damn country, right? 70 people was infected, 10 died. That is more than 10% of the people infected that died. Yes, and this is not like the flu. And another thing is, if 8,000 people die from the flu every year, but don't we have a handle on the flu, so they tell us? We have a handle on the flu, do we not? They have vaccinations. They have ways of dealing with it. They kind of got it under control, right? So then what the fuck you gonna think is gonna happen with something that they don't have under control? I think it's ridiculous for them to equate the flu to this virus when that's how many people die in 365 days. You have yet to see what the fuck the coronavirus will do in a country at 65 days, 365 days, because at this point, we're watching what the coronavirus has done being in a country for a couple of months, a couple of days, a couple of weeks. So how can you compare? Shout out to you, Tiana. Trump is saying that because the stock markets are crashing and no president won re-election with a declining stock market. Well, you know what? We're gonna get into that because if there is a conspiracy theory to have, that might be one of it. Let me tell you something. One thing I don't know if you guys have noticed. We're in the campaign time, right? Election year, and people are being political and shit. If there is any conspiracy theory, this is what I think the conspiracy theory is. I believe that if America had anything to do with this, right? Because we know this came out of China, so they want you to believe China is the one that started this. So let's just, if there was a conspiracy theory, it would have to look something like this. Not that they're lying to us to make us scared, because there has to be a reason behind everything the country does. There's no reason for them to make us scared for no reason, unless there's something they're trying to do, right? Which may be to enact martial law, but even then, I guess you should pay the fuck attention. Shout out to you, Engaging Black. Those boys on ADOS makes you wonder how hostile these immigrants are to us. Well, thank you for donation. What I want to talk about when we get to the story about the boys is not whether they're ADOS or not. It's about everything that goes on, because when we're in this country and we all live together, we all seen as black to a certain extent. But I will agree with you on this, that when it comes to immigrants that are black, they don't see us the same as them. They really don't. They don't see us the same as them. But I don't know if those boys were ADOS. I know a couple of them, and I don't believe that you can tell me that it was like, what, 12 boys? Y'all know what all of them are, have they all even been caught? So I know one mother was talking, but that doesn't mean that every boy in that crowd wasn't ADOS. But that, I don't think that will really even matter in the conversation that we're going to have about that. Right? But check this out. So we think that this came from China. But what if America sent a spy into China and made them unleash this motherfucker everywhere, right? Right? Knowing that eventually it's going to come this way. I want to give you the mind of this country and how diabolical they are, and how Engaging Black says it does. What matter if they're ADOS? But what I'm telling you is the perspective of the conversation I'm going to have. That's not a factor in my conversation. This is what I'm telling you. That the things I want to pull out from that story, they don't have anything to do with whether they're ADOS or not. So that's what I'm telling you. You don't get to tell me what my talking points are, where I'm coming from, if you don't even know where I'm coming from. So, no, in your mind, it may have something to do with that. But for me, it doesn't. Not the place that I want to go with the story. Shout out to you, Andrea. Thank you for that. Shout out to you, James. They're trying to collapse the economy. The dollar will be no more. That's that. There's a lot of reasons they could be doing shit. You're right. It's so many ways, but this is how diabolical America is. They're one of the most evilest countries that there is. They will go through 50,000 things to set some shit up down the road, right, to get it to where it needs to be, so it will all look like it's been orchestrated, and you think that it's just something that happened, but behind the scenes it's been orchestrated by them. Right, so I can see America sending somebody in to set some shit off in China. China and America been kind of beefing because they don't want to give them more antibiotics, and they've been bullshitting about that even before this shit came about. Trump be talking shit to everybody, so they be like, fuck him to some extent. He like, fuck you. So trust and believe me, they had some issues, right? Shout out to you, Oakland, sister. Thank you for that. So understand, I can see them sending somebody into China to set off this virus, knowing that the virus was going to eventually make its way to other countries because people travel. It would have gotten into this country, and maybe you can play off of that and say, oh, it's in this country. Trust me, this shit has been created, right? This shit has been created by somebody. They even tell you that when you look at the strand of it, it has some type of it also has a form of HIV inside of it. So they know that this is some created shit. So somebody created it. So my question to you is, you don't think the person that created it also has the antidote? So I wouldn't be surprised if America sent somebody over there to spread it. They knew eventually they could say it made its way into this country. It might make its way into this country a little bit. Have y'all noticed that since the coronavirus has been out, have you noticed how many big political figures have caught the coronavirus? The Pope, And forgive me if I don't keep up with all the names and the white people in the White House and in the government, but there's quite a few people that are sick as well, right here in the American government, people that are in certain positions, and now they're sick with the coronavirus. Like you got Trump up here saying, well, I'm not worried about it. You know, I got checked out by the doctor and I'm sure that I'm fine. Well, yeah, if you got the antidote, motherfucker. See, because this is how diabolical they are. They will set up some shit just so they could go around. This nigga probably got corona on his hand. And he just shake a motherfucker's hand. You punk bitch. You punk bitch. You know, Trump got it in for everybody, including motherfuckers in the goddamn White House with him. He got it in for everybody. So what I'm saying is you could really target some political figures and give it to them to make sure that you got rid of them and shit of that nature. I mean, for this not to be a bad thing and to say it's not that far stretched and wide, then why do we have, when you look at the numbers of how many people are infected, you mean to tell me that there's quite a few that are political figures? Okay. I'm just saying, these are things to keep in mind. You don't talk about a conspiracy theory. You think about shit from that avenue. Shout out to you, Wayne. What love to you back, right? America does shit like this all the time. And then they just make you think, oh, it was happenstance, it was an accident. We just gonna blow up the Twin Towers. And it wasn't us, it was terrorists. No, it was you. It was you, America. Yes, that's what I said. Thank you, Tiana. Yes, that it has the coronavirus. This strand has a mix of HIV, and it keeps mutating. This is some shit somebody made. So if they made it, they mean it's the antidote. If it's being used as a biological weapon, trust me, it can be used against other people. Travis said, "Are you serious?" Yeah, I'm serious. Serious about what? Serious about what? We have another no-name face in here. Serious about what? That the government will do things and then act like it is somebody else that did it to us so that they can use your fear to lock down on you and get your permission for them to lock down on your freedom out of your fear. So then they can say they didn't force it on you, although they did. Does anybody in here really believe that your government is just like, if you white, maybe. If you white, though, then my show is not for you. So you might not be in here. Because everybody who comes say that shit or say some dumb shit like that, none of y'all have no fucking picture on your shit. You just a no name, no face motherfucker. And I can't believe you would be black and then question the fact of whether or not this country does diabolical shit like this to other people. Are you serious? See, black people know that they shot a bunch of black people up with syphilis and didn't say shit. You know about the ski prison experiments. What the fuck are you talking about? We know that they experiment on their people all the time, that they do all kind of shit to people all the time. America will fuck over their own people all the time. So, if you don't believe in those conspiracy theories, then you be the dumbass. But let's talk about some shit that ain't fucking conspiracy. Right now in New York, there is an area that has been quarantined. You cannot go into that area, and anybody who's been in that area is quarantined for the next, 14 days? There was a man in this country who was supposed to be self-quarantining at home because they said he had it. Shout out to you, Diana. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he decided to take his ass out of the house, and he went to his daughter's dance at her school. When they found out he attended, do you know they've shut that school down? Do you know it's not the only school system that's shut down? So how many of y'all are paying attention to that? School systems are shut down in a lot of places right now in the United States of America because there was 2 bus drivers that had the coronavirus. So now they've shut down all those schools that those bus drivers were dealing with, and kids have to do their school online. Or do y'all not know this? So for people to keep saying that it's pushed up in the media, a lot of this shit, I don't see it being pushed in the media because I don't see people acting like they know this stuff. So there were people on a cruise boat, what people are talking about in the chat, and they have docked that cruise boat, and people on there are supposed to be quarantined, and they're supposed to be testing them and taking them. Harvard shut down. Look, taking them and testing them before they let them leave. These people aren't even in the place that they're docked. That's what I'm saying. Somebody said new to me. There's a lot of this going on. Look, in Atlanta too. So my question would be, you see that the stock market is dropping. The stock market was fucking closed when it wasn't supposed to be closed, right? The stock market is going down. Understand that we're not going to have a lot of supplies in this country because they come from China. Everything from your medicine to your food on the to your products on the shelf to merchandise to clothes to whatever. There's going to be a ton of shit. And as Americans, we're going to really realize all of the shit that's been given to us by China that we let them do because that we let them provide for us. Because once that shit is off the shelf, there will be no restocking. How many of you have seen the recent video of the black woman that works at the dock where they bring in all the imports and the exports? She was showing everybody, if you haven't seen it, go look it up. She was, yeah, everything else, goddamn, how these earrings I got on, and everything, and this motherfucking iPad, this goddamn instant holder, this Victoria's Secret lip gloss. China. Shit. All of it. Right? But it's a woman. Okay, so you seen it. Somebody said they seen it. She works at the pier where all of that stuff comes in. And guess what? She showed us, she said, I want you to know that this area is always full. These crates coming in are stacked as high as buildings. She showed you a small area with like 6 fucking containers. She said nothing has been coming in, nothing has been coming out. I want you to know I work here, and this is where the fuck you get all of your merchandise that's on the shelf. This is where we get everything. Nothing is coming in because it's been halted. We won't take in any more exports from any goddamn country, especially China. And China has most of our shit. So guess what? Where are we gonna get all our products from? So if nothing else, if y'all don't want to buy nothing else, do you see how the corona is still going to affect this country? If you ain't worried about being sick, but you should be. Shout out to you, Everton. Thank you for that. Shout out to Dr. Shauna. I love her. She give me life too. You don't have any vaccinations, so let's talk about that. How many of you need medication that come from China and you're not gonna get that shit? So no more weave. Don't put no weave in for the next couple months, sisters. It might have corona in it. Don't do it. Y'all stupid. I ain't saying that sometimes. Shout out to you, Tiana. On your next show, can you speak on the brother Nathaniel Wood that was innocent and executed by the state of Alabama because of the racist governor? Absolutely. I mean, they do these things like this all the time. And you know what? And I was looking into that story. I just didn't want to talk about it today. I want to talk about coronavirus because I don't feel like any damn body's talking about it. Y'all act like this shit is a joke. It's not. So let's get into more that they've shut down here in America, right? So I just told y'all schools are being shut down. Kids have to do their go to homeschool. They doing all their things online from school. So school has been canceled. Stock market closing, going down. No products being able to come into this country, stopping all of the money in import and export, and telling people that they can't go to work. Do you know the other day in California, how many of you in California know that there was a pre-martial law in a city out there that they came to the community and they told everybody to go in their homes and do not come out? They were out there for a couple hours. They would not let people leave. And then once they had rectified, I don't know if they were looking for somebody who had the virus, thought they were in that area, then they removed it. See, somebody said yes. So you've already had helicopters flying around in this country and communities. You see, that's not on the news. So for people to tell me, because trust me, if you go look it up, pre-martial law in the California community, you're going to find about 2 articles. They're from legitimate sources, but you don't see that shit on MSNBC. You don't see it on NBC. You don't see. So to say that they're using this in the media, somebody said it was Rockland. I think, yes, it was. I think that was the name of it. If they were really trying to push this in the media, you would be hearing about all this shit. A lot of this shit people ain't hearing. Shout out to you, James. Why is this disease seem to only be affecting them? Do you think it backfired on them somehow? You mean the Chinese? Shout out to you, Jacqueline. Well, if you mean the Chinese, that's what I'm saying. You say they created it, but don't be surprised if actually China didn't create it. What if an American created it or somebody and they went into the country and then they planted it? Because this is what I would tell you. Now, I'm not sure how they could do it, but I heard on the news they were saying in China that they were still searching for the person who had the coronavirus from the beginning. Now, I don't know how the fuck you can find the person who started this all, but apparently 10 and someone has had it, and they said they haven't found. Shout out to you, Uncle. Well, this is the thing. I think that we could have had a recession without killing hundreds of thousands of people, but of course you want population control. And if you're talking about a recession, you have to remember whatever is going on here is much bigger than just America because it's happening everywhere. The coronavirus has become something that is a world issue right now. Not a country issue, not a city, not a state. It's a world issue. People are being fucked up all over the place by coronavirus. They have their first case in Africa. But understand all of this stuff that this is going to cause for us, right? When you go over and you look at the people in China, They are very sick. And to say if you think it backfired on them because they created it, I will tell you once again, I don't know if they did create it. Maybe somebody went over there, and the reason they haven't found the person, even in death, in testing people, they haven't found the person who actually brought the virus in, tells me that whoever brought the virus in probably didn't have it. They're probably immune to it. They probably have the antidote. They probably came and released that shit and left. And for people who don't think that folks, whether America did it, anybody else did it, for y'all to think that countries and people don't create chemical warfare, you just a stupid motherfucker. You think people don't create shit and I was laughing the other day with my girl and I was telling her shit is black people. Shout out to you, Uncle Frank TV. Right, that he patented the virus. Bill Gates be doing a lot of shit. That motherfucker's involved with a whole lot of vaccinations. And when it comes to biological warfare, Bill Gates be in all of that shit. He be involved in all of it. That motherfucker one of the main ones. So understand that here in America. So check this out. So if you think that they doing this type of recession, first of all, that's if you believe that America did something to it, right? But if this really just started in China, then you can't really say America did this for a recession. But I want you to know that all of the college basketball canceled, 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 canceled. There would be no college basketball all year. Done, right? NBA canceled. Well, not canceled, but it's not here in the way that you might think it should be, right? Shout out to you, Citizen Man. No, I don't have the stuff set up to take call in. I'm sorry, I get there. I know. I'm working on it though. But I think it was LeBron James. He said that he had a problem because what they told them is that they may have to play their games in empty stadiums. And see, this is the thing. They don't want people coming out for all these basketball games. So I don't know if you have to pay for it to see it online or something like that, or just watch it on regular TV. But what they're going to do is have them play the games and let people watch it from TV and not bring them together because they don't want all these people in these public places. So I want you to think about all the things that are being canceled here. So whether this is the thing I just want people to understand, whether you think this is a conspiracy theory or not, the conspiracy is not that this shit is not real. The conspiracy would be what is it behind all of it being done? Is it for, depopulation? Is it to kill all these people because you can kill two birds with one stone and take out some politicians? Like I said, it does seem really strange to me that for the few corona cases they act like it's so few. How come out of those few there are quite a few of politicians and political figures who are sick? Out of the few, it's supposed to be so many few cases. So why the fuck are these some of the few cases? So many of them. When you look at the statistics, don't make no sense that many ratio of them would have it based on the small cases they claim we have. Shout out to you, Black Freedom. I noticed that so far all the people getting sick are Europeans and Asians. So far, all the cases in Africa have been foreign nationals, not Africans. Yeah, that's what they said. I read in the news today that they said I guess Africa had its first case actually just showing up in that country. I don't know if it was a melanated person because you're right. I mean, you can be in Africa, you can be a white person and be born in Africa and be African. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But they did say in China the reason why they think your melanin is the more melanin you have, that is kind of an immunity to it because there were plenty of students from Africa in China and none of them got sick. They were around other people who had it and everything else, right? I gave you a shout out, Jamaya Murphy. I see it early. You didn't hear me. Shout out to you. Look. So understand that the worst case scenario, let's say the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that some people get sick, they be looking out for it. Some folks die, whatever. They end up getting it together and everybody's fine. And then before the summer's over, everything and all the sports will be back on and they'll give everybody their shit and life will go on. But I want you to be prepared for the worst case scenario, you guys. Because the worst case scenario will tell you this, that means that we may have martial law here. There may come a time when this thing has it's here, but it ain't been here long. So for people to say, that they don't think that it's that bad, it ain't been here long enough for you to say. And if you look at where it just was and all the other people that had it before us, I don't know why you think it's not that bad. I don't know why. We don't, right? So understand we are going to be affected from small ways to big ways. And we could get into a point. I just told you that we have pre-martial law in California. There's a quarantine area in New York. They are trying to deal with this situation. But if it gets out of hand, just like everything, every other country that it is, you might start seeing people die left and right. I would suggest to all of you that you should, first of all, you should make sure that you have like at least a month, if not more, of some water, canned goods, right? Things of those nature, because y'all seem to think, Jemiah, I don't know if that is a typo in the computer keypad, but if you ask me to give you a shout out one more time and I shouted you out twice, I'm gonna block your ass, okay? Thank you. Um, I want y'all to understand that there will come a time, even if people do not believe this, that if they were to declare martial law, because and understand martial law is one thing when it comes to, rioting and uproar and go in your house. But when you're talking about a medical martial law, that's martial law for a different reason. Shout out to you, Snuggle. I don't even remember. Look, did we get started off on the wrong foot? Thank you. We good. We good. But look, I don't get offended easily. I say what's on my mind, and hopefully, either let's just it'll be good. Just because I say what I feel, sometimes it hurt folks' feelings. Don't mean I'm mad. I just say what it is. But understand. But thank you for that. Yes, we good. Um, but understand that there can come a time where they can call martial law. When you're talking about medical reasons, it's like a medical quarantine martial law. So it's about people not being able to come out your house. When it comes to people out on the streets, whether you're sick or not, you will be quarantined. They will take you to some type of a facility, and it probably won't be a hospital because America has about 1 million hospital beds, I believe, in total. I think it's about 65% of them that are already taken up by other illnesses, car accidents, all that other shit that happened. You can go look for the information if you think I'm lying. So that leaves you, 30 something percent of beds that might be open. If this hits us big, let your ass be caught out on the street if they call. Yeah, you're gonna be right. Those Walmarts, your ass gonna be a Walmart on a mat waiting to die. I don't need to be laughing. I'm just saying, right? Because we always think this shit is a joke. It's not a joke. Shaman, sometimes you gotta laugh, right, when it's sincere shit like this because we're laughing now, but man, if they declare martial law and told you not to come out your house tomorrow, how would y'all feel? What your refrigerator look like? You got water? You wonder why Trump was coming up with them. Remember they were saying Trump was gonna start sending people on welfare, them food packets with them dry beans and shit like in the military. You gonna get some we gonna get some motherfucking military food packages in this bitch. So what your refrigerator look like, black folks? I'm just saying. Um Shaman said a Kenyan man lost his job, then got it back for exposing on video a plan full of Chinese nationals. His own politicians called him a criminal at first. Like I said, I don't know what government did this. Like I said, but that's what I said. If you believe that it started in China and this is all China's doing and we're just reaping it, and you don't think that America has any conspiracy in this, then that's what I'm saying. Either way you go, we should not act like this doesn't matter. Because if America really doesn't have anything to do with this, and this is just a virus that got loose from China, then that means we don't have an understanding of it. That means we don't have an antidote in this bitch. This means that it can hit us, and if the Chinese people couldn't take care of it in Italy and everybody else, it's probably gonna hit us the same way too. You understand? Shout out to you, Cassandra. Don't know why people don't think the U.S. wouldn't have a hand in this. U.S. Sprayed Agent Orange on their own soldiers. My dad was one of them. Thank you. What was it? What was that one? They went to war. God, I can't think what the fuck it was now. They was experiment. They experiment on their soldiers and shit all the time. That's what I'm saying. America does some really fuck shit. But either way it goes, people say wash your hands. Yes, definitely wash your hands. I don't know. I've heard that it's hard to find some hand sanitizer, and I also heard that they have actually built up assembly lines really fast in these prisons, and they got inmates for free. There go that slavery, that pipeline, them privatized prisons. They got inmates in there making masks and sanitizer on overtime because they all leaving off the shelves, and the rest of them probably came from motherfucking China. So it's a big ass shortage. You see what I'm saying? I don't know this shit. All I know that it's coming, and y'all better just be mindful of it. I mean, I would be glad if it just passes us and we be good. But when I look at all the other places it's hitting, it's not just passing them by. So I don't know why we think it's gonna pass us by. I mean, it would be great to get past this and not have any casualties and people not have to deal with any of those things. But the truth is, if this thing is real and it looks like it's real to me and it's here, we have yet to see the havoc it's going to unleash. Our country is already taking steps to lock shit down. They're not that far from calling a motherfucking martial law in some people's areas. Give them a reason, and trust me, they're getting ready to do it. And I talk about this shit all the time, and we talk about martial law like it's this crazy ass thing. But if it was to go off next week in your hood, you be ready. And I tell y'all this all the time. Whether we gonna go into a revolutionary fight and black folks gonna fight white folks in this country for our freedom, whether we gonna do that or whether you not, trust and believe me, there is a day that something is gonna come for us in this country. Whether it's a race war that's been deliberately started by the country, so that we can go into a race war and they can lock down on us, whether it's this fucking virus or whatever. We have martial law for a reason. Don't think that this government won't ever use it and enact that shit. So my question would be to you is, are you ready? Jemai said, I'm so sorry. You ain't hear me call your name? Look, I ain't trying to cuss you out, Jemai. I didn't know if it kept going. That's why I said, look, after I said don't do it no more, you stop. So you gotta, I think you act like one of my kids. You did that shit on purpose. But it's all good. It's all good. I didn't know if the button was stuck or not. Right. Sanitizer don't help a damn thing. Look, I just want y'all to know that this is something that y'all should be prepared for. Do not be surprised if you wake up in your community, and especially DC, where they've docked where they got the boat docked, New York and California. These are the three places where you have seen schools shut down. Also, Atlanta, other places have had school systems shut down. But this is where you've seen the pre-martial law, the quarantine of people, and giving orders of not to go in certain areas and to stay away, right? So these are the three major cities right now. So if you are in states, if you are in these places, then you should pay attention a little more. But we should all pay attention. Do not be surprised if you wake up a week from now and they're telling you that your whole area is shut down and nobody's going to work and you need to stay in your motherfucking house, or your kids are not going to school for the next couple of weeks and they have to do their schooling online until they figure this shit out. I will remind you again, plenty of people are dying from this shit at a much higher rate than people ever die of the flu. You do not get to say that many people have not died when they give you a number of flu deaths that's every year. So that's how many deaths happen in 365 days. You have yet to see how many deaths the coronavirus will leave, because at the rate that it is killing, it is much higher. So you don't get to compare the two. So don't let people, even Trump, give you that junk science, because it's all about numbers. It is killing people at a higher rate than the flu does. So you cannot compare the two until you've had the same amount of motherfucking time. Yes, 168 people died in Italy in just one day. They have over about 700 some people dead in less than a month. That is a very high rate. I told you again, there were 70 people infected at one point. There might be more that were affected in Washington. Out of 70 people, 10 died. That's higher than 10% of the people infected. 7 people will be 10%. So now we're at a higher rate. So more than 10% of the people catching this are dying. So I need you to look at the rates, understand the numbers from a statistic and from a rate ratio, not number for number, right? And that's what makes the difference, because until we've had a whole year of the coronavirus, you really don't know how many they died to compare it to the flu, right? Shout out to you, Melanie. So I would say that to you guys. I don't know how many have died in New York. I know a couple of political officials that are sick. One of them, man, but forgive me what his name is. I don't keep up with all these white people. He was talking all that shit about, the coronavirus is some bullshit. He was sweating and shit while he was giving his speech. What the fuck was his name, y'all? And then come to find out, he fucking had the coronavirus, but he was in there with the cabinet, and it was like 23 of them. All them motherfuckers is quarantined now because of that. Right? Stupid people are not buying Corona beer. Let me throw one more thing out there before we move on to the next subject about the fight with these boys, right? Jumping on this girl. The word is that Asians is getting their ass whooped. How many of you have heard that? First of all, nobody is buying food from the Asians. Chinatown is like a ghost town. I don't blame them, right? Because nail shops, people is like, fuck y'all too, right? Yay! People are not going to the nail shops or any of those things, because these people who own these restaurants and nail shops, they go back and forth home all the time. How you know this shit is, the coronavirus been around since like December in China? So how you know somebody a couple months ago didn't go, they came over here and be giving that shit? So I don't think they'll be able to recover from this. Because the truth is, people have always, what I believe, wasn't it SARS? They started that shit too and brought it over here. People just get tired of looking at them in this country and the way that they are with shit. They eat dogs. We ain't sure if you giving us cats and rats. Right, finally, giving us rats and dogs. I swear, forgot I've been to a Chinese food restaurant, and I go to open up my box and I swear it smell like fried dog meat, and I don't eat the shit because I know what the fuck chicken smell like. So this is what they've done for so long. But not only are their businesses being shut down left and right, they probably will not recover from this. Um, there are people that are getting beat up, right? So people in America are beating up, and in other places they beating up these Asians. And I just want you to know, I don't get no fuck. That's what you get. Not because your ass brought corona, because maybe you didn't bring the coronavirus, because you might have been here 10 years. But you know what? Every time I hear somebody tell me that a motherfucking Asian got their ass whooped because people being racist against them, prejudice, this is what they say, right? Prejudice against them. I think about all the black women whose asses they was whooping in them nail salons. Fuck y'all. Good. I hope the stigma of y'all being a piece of shit stick with y'all, because you got the white folks, you got these Jews around here, who the fuck right up there with them. Shout out to you, James. Right, if it's a plague, just kill all the evil, all the white folks. Be gone, kill everybody evil. But I just been thinking about how they beat up all them people in the nail shop. They look down on black people like you not shit. You not shit. All the niggas, ain't that what your country, ain't that what America taught them before they came over here? Niggas ain't shit. Fuck niggas. So I'm gonna beat the shit out of this woman, even though she gave me $200 for all her services, but she didn't want to pay $5 for her eyebrows. So we gonna beat the shit out of her, throw acetone on her face. Fuck y'all. That's what the fuck y'all get. Yes, karma. I like that word. So I don't feel sorry for none of y'all. I don't. So, you know, I think it's poetic justice. That's what I think it is. I think it's fucking poetic justice. Got your ass beat just for being Asian, bitch. Just like you want to beat people ass just because they black over $5. Payback. So, so anyway, that's something that I've been hearing too has been going on. See, y'all pay attention to this coronavirus. People get their ass beat. Businesses are shutting down. Schools is closing. Right? They telling people to stay off the fucking subway in New York. How the fuck that's gonna happen? You know how many millions of people go through that motherfucker every day to get to work and live their life? I don't know how it's gonna happen. You know, my understanding is they've been sending people out to clean the carts out every 3 days. Them old dirty ass carts, and you sit down on the train in New York, you get up feeling dirty. It's like when you go to the city jail. I don't know how y'all go to work on the train. I've been on the damn train. Shout out to you, Chris J. All the information is in the description box, but the cash app is $Mechex, Mechex. One of my moderators will probably put it in there, but I don't understand why they ain't cleaned them motherfuckers before. That's probably how the coronavirus got here, from a dirty ass right in the subway. Them shits is dirty. But I don't know how much longer we can keep this going. I want y'all to think about that. They can't fucking clean them trains every 3 days from here until eternity and shit. And then if it is some disease on there, the people cleaning might get the disease. You know how many people have been infected by going to the nursing homes, getting people out their home, calling ambulance, and then they get to the hospital and find out they infected because the people they was dealing with was infected? This shit ain't no joke. Shout out to you, Angel Simmons. Thank you for that. So, I mean, just pay attention to what's going on. Keep up with the news. I suggest. I'm so serious to y'all. I just want to suggest that y'all go get y'all some water, not for like 2-3 days if you can. Get you a 30-day supply at least, maybe longer. But make sure you have some water. Get you some canned goods. If you have a generator, great. I mean, just make sure you got some candles and shit. You never know, right? But make sure that you can eat some food. You don't want to end up locked in your house on martial law, and they tell you can't come out, and then they bring you rations, and you don't get water, and you don't get food, and you can't come out your damn house. And you know, if you got to be in your house, at least be prepared for what's in there, because it is a possibility that can happen in many neighborhoods in this country. So y'all keep up on the news, but don't just watch the news here, because the news here be playing shit down. Actually, I think that you should look at the news. Look at Italy's news, because that's exactly where it's happening. Go look at China's news, because that's exactly where it's happening. And you're going to find out way more what's going on in their country that's real about this shit versus what they're going to tell you here, right? So go and watch some news from some other countries. With that said, y'all, we talked about Corona a whole damn lot. So I'm going to move on to this next story. But I want y'all to do me a favor. Before we move on, y'all like this video, right? Share this video, subscribe if you have not, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when YouTube is not hating. But you can also text the word Black Agenda to 484848, you guys, and be in our texting system so we can keep you updated on all things with the Black Agenda and Mechex. You guys also don't forget to go over to the realmetx.com and check out my album. You can go get a preview of all the tracks over there, right? And check them out, but you can purchase it on download or you can order you a CD, right? And you can go get your get free or die trying. Just don't let Corona be the thing that kill your ass. Um, so y'all can go over there and y'all can go take a look at all that stuff too. Please go over to the Black Agenda Movement.com and check out all of the dates for the cities and stuff we coming near you. And I'm just gonna be real with you. I hope they work this shit out. I don't know. We might have to have a Black Agenda on tour online. Because you never know, right? We're what this is. We're in March, so you're gonna get to April, May. The summer is starting to come up. It's gonna be another month, and by that time, we'll see in another month or two how really serious this shit is in our country. And they might suspend travel. People might not be able to go nowhere. So we have to wait and see how this thing plays out because it could be that serious that there may come a time in the next month or two there might be no travel. You might not be able to go no motherfucking where, right? Um, and then I guess we'll have to find a way to have the Black Agenda online, something, right? We'll figure it out. But as of right now, I don't know. They I'm keeping a watch because they tearing that they shutting down a whole lot of shit. So we'll see where we at in another month or two. But like I said, they might be real. You might not be able to travel nowhere. They said that shout out to you, Tiana. The way I stay at my house 99% of the time, right? I've been prepared. Me too. I've been prepared for martial law. Just give me shout out to you, Tyra. Thank you for that. Just give me my water and my food, and I will stay my ass in my house. I don't go nowhere anyway. All I need is supplies. I need coffee. I gotta go to the dispensary and get like a pound of weed. They don't even let you buy a pound of weed. I need some weed. I need some wraps. I need some coffee. I need some water, and I need some food. Other than that, I love my house. I would be good. I would be so good. Shit, I ain't gotta go nowhere. And my kids already homeschooled, so they not bad. They used to being in the house. We good. Shout out to you, James. James said, did you hear about the 80 nurses that was infected for treating coronavirus patients in California? No. See, that's what I'm saying. There's stories every damn where. 200 boxes of ramen noodles and you straight, right? That's survival food, baby. You ain't got shit else. You run some hot water in the sink, get you a cup, heat that shit up with a with a lighter, a candle, or something. It's called improvising this motherfucker. I think we can survive. I think we would be good at surviving. But that's the thing too. We don't know how many people are infected from other people that it just hasn't come up inside of them yet. All of these people that are ambulance drivers, all these folks that are going to the hospital being treated by hospital staff, people in nursing homes saying, I don't feel well. Shout out to you, Zachariah. Thank you for that. All of these people that are dealing with them are making themselves susceptible to it and then they're spreading it everywhere else. So it spreads really fast. That's the thing. It ain't been long. So y'all come talk to me in 30 more days and then you tell me if you think coronavirus is a joke. Now I hope it is. I hope it is. I don't want to be with coronavirus everywhere. I really don't. So let's hope. Let's hope. We're gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. You got melanin, you really gonna be all right. I don't know, it might get my ass. I don't got that much melanin. Some of y'all got motor me. I need to borrow some of y'all melanin. It might come get me. I don't know, y'all. I got to stay in the house. That's my deep. That white side gonna get me fucked up. They gonna come get me on the house. She ain't got that melanin. Get her ass. Coronavirus. The rest of y'all gonna be good. Y'all pray for me. So Texas scent trails. You don't get to come here and tell me to talk about something else, okay? If you don't like the topic and you want to move on, then you can move on. I'm having conversations with my people in the chat. They're bringing up other things. They're asking questions. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, if you don't want to hear this, you can click away. You can come back later to the video. We were a little over, we about an hour, 20 minutes in. And then you can go ahead and just wait and come back and click. Like an hour and 30 minutes in, and maybe I'll be on the next time. Just because you think you know everything about the coronavirus, or you've heard everything, or you don't have any comments, or you don't have any questions, there's what 1,000 over 1,600 people in this room. So I suggest that you just be quiet, and I suggest that you just wait, because right now we talking to what the majority of the room is commenting on, right, and responding to questions. So just like if you would chat something, you would type something in the chat, and you would want me to respond to your question and have comments back and forth with you, I'm sure that's exactly what everybody else wants me to do. So I'm taking time to speak to the people in my chat, and they want to continue to talk about it, and they're bringing up things that we haven't said about it. So if that's bothering you, then you can leave, like straight up. Don't come in here telling me, can I move on? And then I don't appreciate like them six exclamation marks that you put. Don't yell at me in my house. What's wrong with you? This is my house. Them exclamation marks. See, I did well in English in school. So all them capital letters and exclamation marks that everybody use, it means you yelling at me. Don't yell at me in my house. Okay? Thank you. Anyway, you guys, y'all do me a favor, right? Like this video. um, Share this video, subscribe if you're not, hit that notification bell, right? Say good question, Crystal. What Crystal say? I don't know how far I gotta go back. If I can find it, maybe not. Okay, was the question for me? I don't know. You said it was a good question. I want to know what it was too. Anyway, you guys, let's talk about this. How many of you seen the fight? The jumping, the boogle beating, the bullshit. How many of y'all seen that? So apparently, a 15-year-old girl got jumped by like what, 12 boys, 12, 13 boys from the ages of like 15 on up to like what, 16, 17 years old. You didn't see it, JM. Okay. Well, you can go and look it up. And if you just type in, 15-year-old girl beat by boys, it'll come up. But apparently, this young lady walking down the street, now somebody said it was an incident that happened earlier. I don't give a fuck if it was something that happened earlier in the day, if this girl said something to somebody or what. She claims that they mistaken her and she wasn't the person. But even if she was, this girl is on the ground. She's 15 years old. How many of y'all got a 15-year-old daughter? And then how many of you have 15, 14, 15, 16-year-old boys? Right? You're saying it was what, a gang, what retaliation? Is that what you're trying to write? I kind of heard that too. I heard she said, would they cut the power during martial law? It depends on what kind of martial law it is. If it's because of quarantine and want you to stay in your house, they probably wouldn't cut the power. But depending on what they're doing to enact stuff in the community, you never know. Power might go off while they're working on something or whatever. I would just say in those times to always be prepared. It's never bad to have flashlights and candles in your house at all times, right? So you just be prepared. That's all I'm saying. You never know. And you do know that if like they have martial law and people are putting out too much stuff or you're saying stuff from your home, they will be quick to maybe cut off the power or even put a block on your internet so nobody can get nothing else. It's called a blackout. So there are reasons they will do it, but it just depends on if that's something they decide to implement. But they will cut the power off on your ass. So just be ready. Um, so this girl, right? She's on the ground. You see the video. One boy comes running across the street. I imagine one boy had already knocked her down. Somebody said don't matter, she's a girl. Oh, about them hit right fighting her. Yeah, I don't care if it was a gang retaliation either. And she said that she didn't do anything to anybody. I also heard that they said something like she was responsible for setting their friend to get killed or some shit like that. She said that she was that she don't know the boys. She didn't do none of that stuff, and they mistaken her for somebody else. Now I don't know if you guys have seen you got generators. That's what's up. That's what you really need, some generators, have you some power. But I don't know if you guys have seen her uncle. I believe it's his I don't know, child's mother, cousin or something. But it's he by family, and he's a black man, and he's been speaking out on it. He was on social media. I don't know if you've seen his videos, but he's her uncle, and he was saying that she didn't know those boys, and that she didn't do anything, and that she wasn't sure why they did what they did to her, so it probably was a mistaken identity. But I want y'all to understand that whether it was or whether it wasn't, I'm not understanding why all these boys are jumping on this girl. Now, first, I want to say this. Now, when things like this happen in our community, it's a travesty. But I want you to know that everybody is about to be victimized. So I want to break down every way that everybody in this situation is victimized. Shout out to you, James. Yeah, a gang initiation. Let me tell you something. If it was a gang initiation, what type of gang members are you that it takes all y'all boys to jump on a girl? Y'all some punk bitches. I wouldn't want you in my gang. If it takes all of y'all to jump on a girl, you not tough. What kind of initiation is that? I don't want you in my gang at all. You're a punk bitch. I'm just saying. That would be the most dumbest gang initiation I've ever heard of. Y'all all go jump on this girl and steal her shoes or her debit card and her phone, and you could be in the gang. That's just stupid. But whatever for reason it is, that it shouldn't right, girls jumping girls, boys jumping boys, so that's a lie. But I will tell you, Karen, there are times that I've seen these gangs and they have initiations that don't have anything to do with jumping people in. I've heard of people in gangs having to rob people, kill people, carjack people, do a lot of things just to get into the gang to show you'll do something ridiculous. These day and age, they don't always jump people in no more. I haven't really, I mean, maybe over on the West Coast, I don't care, in California, y'all correct me, be like, oh no, Vato Loco home, they jump a motherfucker in over here, okay? But the new age of way gangs are, there's a lot of gangs that, gangs don't really have you jump, they don't jump their people in anymore, right? They will have you commit some heinous kind of crime to show you tough. So I've seen a lot of those. But regardless of what it was, you see this girl, she's on the ground. Seemed like somebody prior to come over and knocked her down already. You don't see that from the camera. She's on the ground. One boy comes running across the street. He jumps up in the air with his feet and just comes down on the girl. Both his feet, right? Another boy comes and kicks her in the face. Then you see them all surrounding her, kicking on her, but you can't see her because of the crowd around her. And then somebody rips her shoes off and then takes her phone and then they go walking away. And her debit card. Now, when I saw this shit hurt me. Looking at one, the girl that was being beat up, it makes me think of a child of my own. I guess it broke my heart too. It really did. It was a very a difficult thing to watch. It was evil as fuck, but was it really evil? Because I want to talk to y'all about something called the crowd effect, right? Because I know that we are going to be quick to say, well, from the surface, this story looks like what? This girl was walking down the street. These boys jumped on her. This shit is ridiculous. This is the surface of it. This shit is ridiculous. These boys are monsters. They're out of control. They deserve to go to fucking prison and go to jail and be tried like the savages that they are, because they are being charged with what is it, aggravated assault. I think they're being charged with also the fact that they're adding something to it because it's like a gang thing because it was so many of them that jumped on her. They're also charging them with robbery for taking her things. And I want you to know that in the criminal justice system now, right, somebody said good. Well, I don't always agree with that. I don't. And let me tell you why, Veronica, and just be real. Let me explain to you why from a perspective of psychology and how these things happen in our community all the time and how we look at this shit in the rightful manner, right? Because too often, everybody is quick to throw our children away, but we're quick to throw our children away as well. And so what I want to talk about, so let's first talk about the young lady. She is the main victim in this situation. I imagine that was very traumatizing for her. But how many of you know that whether it's boys or girls, how many young girls walk around or boys walk around in our community and find themselves getting jumped all the time? When I was growing up, I got jumped. I know all kind of people got jumped. I mean, good thing I ain't get jumped like some people got jumped, because I watch people go to the hospital. I watch them be on the ground season because their heads was stumped on. I watch people be fucked up from getting jumped, right? I don't think they belong under the jail. I don't, Kay. I don't agree with that, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. And then Zachariah said, my child don't act like that. We're going to talk about that, too. We're going to talk about that, too, because the mother who turned her son in, right? The mother who turned her son in and cussed him out, she was like, my son, I couldn't believe he was doing that shit. We're going to talk about society raising our kids, whether you think they do or they don't, right? But understand that our children deal with this kind of stuff in the community all the time, being jumped. Now, we look at it like, oh, this was a girl and that was devastating, but it would be devastating if it was a boy, too. But if it was a boy, we would look at it in the same manner. But I want you to understand that our children go through these kind of things all the time in our community, getting jumped by people, by gangs of boys, gangs of girls, gangs of kids. Our children deal with this type of stuff. I want you to know that for that girl to be walking down that street like that, and for her to just get jumped out of nowhere, for all of them boys stomping on her, kicking her in her face and everything of that nature, I want you to understand the trauma that this young girl is going to deal with. How many of you have been jumped and nobody helped you through your trauma? I mean, the girl is bruised. None of her teeth are gone. She's not, no broken bones. She's bruised up, a little bit or whatever. So I want you to understand, for many of us who have been in fights, we got jumped in the hood growing up and shit like that. We all walk away bruised and beat up. So she's a bit bruised. She's a bit beat up and swollen, but nothing devastating. No blood was drawn or anything like that, right? So what I'm trying to convey to you is that our children, our kids walk around the community. We all know what it's like to be jumped. We've had these experiences in life a couple times over, right? If you grow up in the hood enough. So what I want us to understand is that we look at her situation from how she got beat up. Somebody said she lost consciousness. I've seen people get jumped all the time and lose consciousness, teenagers and everything. So this is what I want you to understand is that our children go through this because I'm going to take you to, yes, I love my people. Yes, Nyla, that's where I'm going. This girl probably is going to suffer from PTSD. And she's never going to get treatment for it because we don't like to talk about these type of things in the Black community, mental disorders and things that we suffer, that we go through. And I want you to know that the same thing she goes through is no different than what our other kids is going to go through. So what that means, PTSD, is that this young girl was walking down the street and out of nowhere, or whether she expected it or not, she had a very devastating, traumatic experience where she was beat down, right? In a way that nobody should have to deal with, right? So know that this girl is probably going to suffer from PTSD in this way. For her to leave her house now in the daytime to walk to school or to walk to the store, she's probably going to have a lot of anxiety. She's probably going to be nervous, and there may be some form of a fear in the beginning that's going to make her scared to go back outside. Because as you're walking down the street, you know, and Renee says this is true. I've been traumatized like that. I have PTSD. So let me explain that. One time when you go through trauma, these things can happen to you. And so what I'm saying is I almost got kidnapped by 3 white men who tried to snatch me up and rape me. I got away from them. It happened at nighttime. All I knew is I wanted to get away. So I did not really pay attention to their faces. I did not know their license plate. I didn't have anything to describe who these men were because in the midst of it all, I just was trying to get away. Okay? So after that, even though this happened at nighttime, when I left out of my house, even in the daytime, people are around everywhere, cars are driving. Like at nighttime, there was nobody around. I was by myself and I didn't have anybody to help me. So you would think that I would feel safe going outside in the daytime where there are people everywhere. But the truth is, I didn't know who they were. And so every car that drove past me with a white man in it, I thought, is that him? And you know, I'm me, but I don't know he's him. Is he watching me right now? See, I got away from them right in front of my house. And so then I started to think, they know that I live here. When my child's father goes into Boston and leaves me here, are they going to come in the house and get me? I used to lock myself in my bedroom while he was gone with our son because I was scared they was coming to get me. And to walk around outside in the daytime, it lasted for about 2 to 3 weeks. I was terrified because I thought everybody in the car that was white was them, and they were looking at me, and since I had no idea who they were, they didn't get caught. I don't recall what they looked like other than they were white men. I just felt very vulnerable, and I didn't know if it could happen to me again. And even if they weren't going to snatch me in the daylight, just the fact that this could be the man in this truck next to me at the stoplight and I'm walking, it terrified me, right? And so what I want you to know is for this girl, she was just walking down the street minding her business. So in her mind, it was broad daylight. There were people everywhere. And it still happened to her. So you don't think that she's supposed to think if I leave out my house and walk down the street, that this could happen to me again? You think I'm supposed to feel safe because this business is open, because people are looking at me, because there's cars driving by? No, in her mind, she probably will be panic attacking. She will be nervous. She will be waiting to get the fuck up off them streets and get into a building because being outside will make her feel vulnerable. And these are the things that our children deal with every day in the community. Don't think that only she deals with that. You have children who get beat up in their community, who have to face gang members, who have been jumped before and all of these things, and then you still send them out in this same ghetto ass community with all this violence and this crime, and you send them to walk off to school. And what you don't know is that their whole walk to school is very fearful and triggered by PTSD because they're worried about if these motherfuckers that's constantly fucking with them when they walk in the home to and from school, are they going to see them and are you going to mess with them? I just got jumped by all of these boys the other day. If they see me, are they going to keep jumping me? Are they going to do something else to me? This creates PTSD in our children. And it does the same thing to adults that go through this stuff. But this is what we don't understand. And then when our kids go through this, a lot of times, even though we ask them they're okay, I guess what I want to know is for her parents, a lot of times you'll bring the kids home, you bandage up their wounds, you tell them they're gonna be good, you tell them you sorry all of this happened to them, right? But what you don't ever do is go get your kids some counseling for being jumped. That girl needs some counseling. She really does. Because the situation that she was in is something that can cause her trauma for a very long time to come if she does not work through it now. Right? And so this is something we overlook with our children all the time. So I wanted to point out that about this victim that we may not look at and how we attribute it to the situations in our community to understand a little bit more what our children go through when they're living and walking and hanging out in these communities where they are constantly confronted with violence, gangs, and all kind of shit that they constantly in fights or happen to be fearful of what the fuck might happen to them. And it's normal to us, but our children are suffering. And it's sad that shout out to you, James Gray. He said he don't know how they feel comfortable ganging up on that girl. Right, when I was about that age, ganging a female was never brought up, right, in any type of situation. We live in a new day and age, though. Y'all do know that boys are girls. They wear dresses. They princesses and shit. Come on, y'all. They princesses and shit. Boys are girls today. Because you're right, when I was growing up, boys would have never done no shit like this. Only punk boys do this shit. Now let's talk about her mama and her parents. Her family is traumatized from this. They are a victim as well. And this is a cycle of trauma that goes on in our community. And this is why I'm using this. We're devastated looking at this young girl who got beat up by these boys on video. How many of you in this chat can attest to that you have seen teenagers beat the dog shit out of other kids worse than that? In the hood, all the time. It's not on video, though. So her video makes us say, oh my God, do y'all know how many of our kids get beat worse than that? If that was a boy, he'd probably be on a concrete, seasoned, unconscious, bleeding, nose broke, might have bleeding on the brain. You know how many kids I've seen be fucked up? Somebody said, yeah, but not a girl. I'm not saying whether it's a girl or boy. I'm saying, do you know how many times these things happen to our kids in the community? Because we see this girl getting beat up by these boys. We say, oh my God, that's horrific. What I would say to you is that this kind of shit happens to our children in our communities every single day, boys or girls. So I want you to know, for as devastating as you see that and you think that about her, I need us to understand that we need to feel that way about all of our children that are dealing with this shit, that have to deal with these things. And then you got her family. Her family is a victim, definitely. As a parent, yes, she's okay. Sure, she's okay. Her uncle said that she was recovering, that she was a little swollen from all of the bruising, and a little battered. But other than that, she was traumatized from what happened to her emotionally, but physically she was doing well. This is what her uncle said. So she's okay, in that perspective. But a lot of times we think he kept saying, she's okay. But that's what I'm saying. She's not okay. They need to dig deeper than what has affected her on the surface, because I'm sure underneath that, inside, there's something that's affected her way more. Right? So understand that her family is traumatized from this. I'm sure that as a parent, being a parent, if any of you have had something like this happen to your children and then you got to watch it on TV and you can see how fucking vicious it was, shout out to you, Rosie B. Thank you for that. Know that her mother and her family, her father, her family, whoever, know that her parents probably feel very like they let their child down. They probably feel bad as a parent that in that moment their child needed them, they couldn't help them. They're enraged, they're hurt, they feel like they let their child down, they don't know how to fix it. They're probably going through a whole gamut of emotions as well. So they could probably use some counseling too. Let me tell you something. You know how many times some shit happened at school? See, in these white communities, let a kid commit suicide. A white kid at a white school. Let one of their friends just die. Let a kid have cancer and finally die. Do you know they're going to send counselors to the school to talk to these youth? They're going to say, well, a kid committed suicide that goes to our school. We need to talk to these other children in the school to make sure they're not traumatized. So they will send counselors out for all of that, but then you don't sit here and nobody thinks that we should talk to the Black children about the things that they go through, because we have been told and we have been bred in society to be what? We tough, right? We hard. Don't nothing penetrate us. Don't nothing. We let that eat. We don't die. We multiply, right? So yet and still, we think it's weak to be seen, to need counseling, to have help, to get therapy, all of these different things that are going on, right? And so her mom and them are affected. She is affected by this as a parent. I would be going through so many emotions. I would want to kill those little motherfuckers right now. I would be mad that I couldn't get to them. Then I'd be thinking I should probably go beat their mama up then. Bitch, what kind of kid did you raise? I would be going through all kind of emotions. I would be crying. I would be feeling like I let my child down. I would be suffering from PTSD because I would be scared to let my child now go anywhere. So now I got to drive my kid everywhere. I don't want her walking in the streets either. I would be terrified to let her go out. I would. So understand her mother and her family is traumatized as well. These are the things we don't talk about when we look at this stuff. Now let's talk about the boys and their parents. Now I want you to understand something. These boys did some very horrific shit. I want you to also know that these boys are a product of their environment. I want you to also know that these boys don't have enough reasoning developed to take a moment to look at what the fuck they're doing, especially when you're caught up in something called the crowd effect. Now, this is not my opinion, this is the fact. If you do not know what the crowd effect is, you can Google it, you can look it up. It's a scientific, not a scientific, it's a psychological term. And it talks about people being in the midst of a crowd and committing acts that they would never commit if they were alone. It is also kind of out there with, have y'all ever heard about when people are in trouble? Have you ever wondered why when there's a crowd of people standing around and somebody needs help and nobody will help? Well, in psychology, that talks about the fact that when there's a bunch of people standing around, everybody thinks it's somebody else's responsibility to call the police or to call for help or somebody else to jump in. That's why I won't jump in, right? If you roll up on the scene of something devastating, like a person laying in the street dying, if there's 10 people around, do you feel obligated? Do you feel like if you say, damn, and look at them and keep walking, somebody else gonna help them, right? If you walk up on a person in the street dying and you're the only one there, you feel more obligated to help. So see, crowds keep people from intervening, one, but then crowds also, right, the bystander effect, but then a crowd will also turn around and it will cause people to do things they would normally do as well. So understand, these boys are young. They're underage. They don't have their reasoning developed. They're very impressionable. They're very malleable. Most people may not agree with where I'm going, but these are facts psychologically how people are developed. So these kids are out here, and one, they're being raised by society. So I want to disagree with this mother that says I raised my son better than this. I don't want to tell you that you're not raising your own kids, but you've heard me say this before. You're not. If you go to work 8 hours a day, at least 5 days a week, your child is going to school Monday through Friday, society spends more time raising your children than you do. Your children spend more time in school than they spend with you if you count the hours that they sleep in when you're off. You have social media, you have society, you have rap music, you have everything else that is influencing your children on what a man should be, how they should act, what they should do. And you think that you're really raising your kids, but you're really not. Because even though how many of you have had your child do some shit like, let's be real as a parent, like you raise your kids to be a certain way and you get that call when they're a teenager. And I'm not saying they killed nobody, although I got that call. Not that my son killed nobody, but then he did some shit that got him put away in jail, right? But you get this call and you be like, not my kid, what the fuck? And half the time that shit happens, 90% of the time that shit happens, whatever it be, they usually be involved with some motherfucking kids, don't they? Because when your children are out there with their peers every motherfucking day, they're listening to them. They're not listening to you. They care what the crowd says. They care what their friends say. It doesn't matter what you tell them, mom or dad, because if I don't go to school and I'm not cool to these kids, I have to be around them all day. I actually spend time at school with my friends more than I spend with you. So therefore, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. I'm going to respect you. If you got a kid that respects you, I'm going to say whatever I'm supposed to say in this house. But when I get out in the streets, trust me, your kids are trying to survive, so they begin to morph into what they need to be for the crowd outside of what you told them. Trust me, they're listening to their peers more than they're ever listening to you. They are being raised and getting their influence from society more than they're ever getting their influence from you, ever. See, while mom is at work and she think her son is good, she don't know. Her son running around with a mob of other kids doing dumb shit like beating up girls, something you never thought your son would do. But let me give you the kicker. If her son was not in the crowd with the rest of them boys and he was by himself, it probably is something he would have never done. That's the kicker here. So see, these boys are all together. All it takes is one person to say, let's do this and rile up the crowd and make the first move. And then the rest begin to move blindly without even thinking, especially when they are young. Their reasoning is not developed and they can't see beyond what the fuck they doing. They're just caught up in the fucking crowd. Yes, the mob mentality, the crowd effect, call it whatever you want. Go look all of them up and it will say the same thing. It is something that psychologically happens to adults as well. You can go watch studies on it. It's funny as fuck because you can watch people. It's one where you watch these people and they're like at a concert outside and they're looking at the people. And this one guy gets up and he like goes, yeah, and he starts rolling down this hill. And then somebody else comes behind him and starts rolling down this hill. And at first, everybody is looking at them like, what the fuck are they doing? And then after he comes back up the hill and does it again and his friend does it again, guess what? Random people just start rolling down the hill with these dumbass motherfuckers. Like they're on the grassy, you know how white people like to do shit. So they're doing it. And this is an experiment. And these motherfuckers is laughing because they don't even know why we're rolling down this hill. But they rolling down this hill with us. They don't even know why they're doing it. They just started doing it because everybody else started doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So this works on adults, but it really works on children because children don't have all their reasoning developed. They run by a lot of peer pressure in their life. They don't have reasoning. And when I say reasoning, what I mean by that is none of those boys that went to go jump on that girl stopped before they did that and said, let me reason. Let me look down the road. If I jump on this girl, we can stomp on her head the wrong way and kill her. Wait a minute, she is a girl. You know, if we get caught, we can go to jail for this. Is this really worth it? I don't know. It's so many of us, if we beat her up, maybe we could kill this girl or injure her real bad. And then if we do that, we might end up going to jail for robbery and battery and assault. This is reasoning. See, when you're 25, you think about shit before you do it. And if I was to do this to her, maybe I'll go to jail and maybe they'll try me as an adult. And even though I'm doing this dumb shit right now, just because the rest of my friends, they did not have the ability to rationalize all that, nor the time when you get caught up in the crowd effect. These are facts, not opinions. So if adults can get drawn into this, shout out to you, Black Raven. Trust me, our youth can. So, are these boys wrong? Absolutely. Let me tell you something else that is a proven fact, though. These boys don't need to be thrown under the jail, just like everybody else said. This girl is not dead, right? They don't need to be thrown up under the jail. And the last thing they need to be do is tried as an adult. We're talking about an assault, but they're getting extra charges for it being a gang attack. And then they are also getting robbery charges. And I want you to know that if they decide to try any of these juveniles as adults, which aggravating all of these charges, they may say to the district attorney, look at how aggravated all the shit they did was. I think we should try them as adults. These boys do not deserve to be tried as adults. And I want you to understand the cycle here in the community. You see what happened to the girl? She's traumatized. You see the parents are traumatized. You see these boys, right? They are out here reacting in a way that they have been conditioned to act. That's stupid as fuck. And at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, children can change. So why would you throw a child away forever, right? Shout out to you, the Geeks Mom. Thank you for that. Thank you. So understand that these boys can change. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. When you take juveniles and they are in an environment, I disagree they all had a choice. Well, A-Money, to be honest with you, the truth is that's just your opinion. That's not a fact. That's not a fact. Like I said, let me give y'all another example to make this easier for people to understand. If you had a grown ass man in the court of law, let's say a grown man walked down the street and he slapped the shit out that girl and started beating her up. It's just one man, but he grown. And they take him to court and they say, Your Honor, right? They say to you, Your Honor, this man cannot stand trial because he's mentally ill. And the reason you can prove he's mentally ill is because they will look at you and say, this is a 43-year-old man, Your Honor, but he has the mind of a 14-year-old. What would be your automatic reaction? You know that in the court of law, the court would tell you that he is disabled. He actually can't stand trial because since he has the mind of a 14-year-old, he doesn't understand the proceedings that are before him. So you can say a grown man, he's retarded. He didn't know what he was doing. And most of us would agree with that and say, well, he's kind of slow and he's retarded. Like, yeah, he hurt that girl. He slapped her around on the street, but he got the mind of a child. And somehow we would have a little bit more sympathy for this man. But this is the kicker here. We don't have to test a 14-year-old child to fucking understand that they got the mind of a 14-year-old child. So if a grown man could commit a crime and a grown woman and use the excuse that I'm mentally ill because I have the mind of a child, then why the fuck can a child use the fact that they have the mind of a child to not be seen as accountable for all of their actions? I'll wait. Somebody explain that shit to me. Anthony said he needs to be put away until he's no longer mentally ill. Let's talk about that. I'm not saying these boys don't need to pay for what they did. It's called juvenile. If they go to a juvenile facility, they will get counseling. You're right, they do. They need to talk to somebody about the shit that they did. They need to be given a better perspective in life. They need to find out why the fuck are these kids running the street and doing this shit. Do they have good homes? Are any of these boys beating on this girl because somebody beats their ass every day at home? What are these kids going through that made them do this? So you're right. Just like that mentally ill man should not be free, he should still go. But you know what he's not going to do? That mentally ill man is not going to go to prison. He's going to go to a psych ward. And he's going to be in a mental hospital until they say he's better, and then he will be released to be free. So let me finish because I'm going somewhere with this. Shout out to you, Gratian. Thank you for that. So these kids should pay a price, but they should go to juvenile, where juvenile facility will allow them to see their parents. Juvenile facility is nothing like an adult facility. It will give them a chance to rehabilitate themselves. It will give them a chance to be given a counselor to deal with the issues they have, to talk about the issues they might have had in their environment or why they did what they did, give them an opportunity to think about it. And it's a fact. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. It's your opinion if you don't agree with me. This is a fact. Young children and what they do at the ages of 14, 15, 16, 17 will never signify the adult that they will be. How many of you did some dumbass shit when you was young, and now as an adult, you look back and say, that was some dumb shit I did? God forbid, as a human being and an adult, nobody wants to be defined by the worst thing they've ever done. So why the fuck should we define the youth and throw their lives away for the worst thing that they've ever done when at the end of the day, they're children? If you work with them, they're malleable, they're moldable. You can teach them to be productive citizens. You can do some dumb shit at 14, 15, 16, and it not have anything to do with the productive adult that you can really grow up to be if you are given the right fucking opportunity to do so. Now, if you try these children as adults, they're going to go to prison where they don't deserve to be. Anthony, I don't care what the fuck her parents think. I don't care what her parents think. I don't. And see, this is the problem. What I'm trying to say to us in the Black community is that this is the cycle we all go through. And all of us on the surface are saying that we need to throw these boys under the jail. They didn't kill anybody. So what the fuck do you do to kids that kill people then? Like, y'all sound ridiculous. And I want y'all to know that this is the problem with our community. Everybody in this situation at one point or another can be made a victim, because these boys can now become a victim of the unjust criminal justice system. Because they do deserve to go to jail, but they don't deserve to be tried as an adult. They beat the girl up. She will survive from her bruises. You can get her some fucking counseling. So we should throw children away and throw them in prison as adults where they can get locked away for many years, be traumatized more when they're still children, and then come out and be worse criminals than when the fuck they went in. Because if you send a child as a juvenile to prison versus giving them rehabilitation, you know that when they do come out, if they make it through prison, they're just going to turn into even worse criminals than they were when you sent them in there. Because now you're creating their mind that's malleable and moldable. You're teaching them how to live in a prison setting. So now you're actually creating a worse criminal, which this country understands. They do that very much every day. But that is their whole objective, so they can continue to keep the prison system running. Nobody said these boys shouldn't pay a price, but for people to say they should go away as an adult, they should fucking be thrown under the jail. For what? For beating up a girl who has lived and survived? So what the fuck would be your response to a gang of kids who murdered somebody? So if kids who jump on somebody who they can recover, we should throw them away forever, then what the fuck is your 54 worst crime? I need to hear this. See, this is the problem. We throw all of our people away. We do. Understand that these boys are still a part of our community. And yes, we should want to see that girl get justice, but we don't want our boys, those boys, to still be treated from an unjust system and be given far more than they deserve. This is what I'm saying too. And like I said, if anybody's going to sit here and say that to me, then I'm going to need you to tell me when you was 14, 15, 16, you never did nothing stupid with another crowd of kids. You never jacked nobody for their jacket. You never beat nobody up. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is don't throw these kids away. They deserve another chance because this young girl has a chance. She's not dead. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Tiana. Oh, yes, I did. Let me go back. What you say? So, but now I want to talk about the parents. They charged a 14-year-old black child in New York as an adult for 2 counts of second-degree murder for killing the white college student. I don't think at 14 years old that you should try a child as an adult for murder. So you're gonna give a child the rest of their life in prison at 14? I don't agree with that. I'll never agree with that. Let me tell y'all one thing about Michi. Before Michi got into all of this, going to school for psychology and criminal justice, that was my thing. It was the children. It was the development of the kids. I think that trying children as adults is cruel and unusual punishment. I think that it's inhumane, and I don't think that we should do this shit to children. And I could argue on and on all goddamn day if you wanted me to, but I think that I make my simple point by saying in the court of law, a person cannot stand trial if they don't understand the proceedings before them. So if a mentally ill person doesn't understand what's going on, how many of you been in a courtroom? How many of you have adults have been in the courtroom and you don't know what the fuck is going on? They're saying all these big words and you looking at your attorney like, what the fuck does that mean? So you really think that these children understand the proceedings for them? So according to the very law that this country is made up, how do you try a child in adult court when they don't understand the proceedings before them? Trust me, they don't. When you tell a child that they facing 25 years in prison, you expect them to wrap their head around that when they ain't even lived 25 years. They don't know what that looks like. They haven't even lived that long. They have no idea what 25 years looks like because they haven't even lived 25 years. It is inhumane. It is cruel and unusual punishment. Children should be tried as children, and they should be given the help that they need. Because the truth is, all children that are fucked up and do crazy shit and commit crimes, they're all a product of their environment, this society, their parents, or the lack of. These are children who are exactly what they've been taught to be. So maybe if we took them and we taught them to be something different while they were still young and able to change, we could see better. But this country would rather lock our children up as adults so that they have lifetime fucking slaves. Because if you throw a child in prison early enough, they become acclimated into that. They become conditioned into that system. And then you have a slave for forever because when they get out, that's all that they know. And so, being that these children are black, the girl is black, the families are black, this is the cycle that happens in our community. And I'm gonna tell y'all gonna have to take some more tough stances because I think that in the black community, it hurts me how quick we ready to just throw our kids away. And I don't need nobody to come and tell me what would those parents think. Let me tell you something about my son, and it hurt his heart so bad. And I guess he had to deal with it because when my son was 14 years old, he got robbed. He was riding around on his sister's bike. I told him not to go a certain way. Shout out to you, Andre. But they know it doesn't matter what they do. Y'all spit on the sidewalk, they giving you life, and that's the sad part about it, right? But let me tell you, my son, he was riding his bike. He went to the store. It was late. I just bought him new school shoes, and I was like, "Don't wear your shoes till you go to school tomorrow." So he didn't listen to me. He wore his shoes anyway. He didn't go the way that I told him to go. He didn't go the way I told him to go. I said, go down the main street, go through the neighborhood. So he comes back home and he's in the house and he runs in the house crying, snot coming down his nose and everything. So what's wrong with you? He said, this boy robbed me, mama. He said he took my bike, he took my new shoes, he took my phone, and he took my fucking snacks. And he didn't really say fucking snacks, but he said he took my snacks I bought from the store. Took all of my son's shit, but he put a gun to my son's head, right? And I was mad. I'm a retarded mom. I really am. I'm you mess with my kids, I lose my mind. So I was ready to get in the car and go find this nigga. Call the police, fuck the police. Where that little nigga at? Because I got a piece too. And, you know, everybody else in the house had more sense than me. And it was like, just sit your dumb ass down. Call the police, fuck the police. You put a gun to my kid's head? I'm mad than a motherfucker. I want to know where you at, bitch. I will run a motherfucker over. Now, that's just my flaw. I'm crazy when it comes to my kids. So, anyway, the police come. My son starts telling the police officer stuff, and he's telling him the wrong stuff. And when the man leaves, he tells me, Mama, I ain't tell him the truth about who that boy was. And I was like, why? He was like, because that officer told me that if he catch him, he's going to arrest him. And that even though he was like 17 or 18 years old, he said, I know who the boy is in the community, Mama, but I didn't tell him who he was because even though he took my stuff, I don't feel like he should go to prison all that time. The officer told my son, well, if we catch him and he's an adult or he's old enough to be tried as an adult, that boy could do 15 years in prison. My son was the victim, and my son was like, Mom, I don't think he deserved to do no 15 fucking years in prison. That's crazy. And then when my son robbed somebody with no intention to kill him, he's not even the one that had a gun in his hand. They had no mercy on my son. And he was like, damn, what kind of karma is that? So I want you to know that at the end of the day, no. Just because somebody did some stuff to my child, I can look outside of that and not wish the worst for a person in the sense that that's what I would want them to have. Because when my son said that, like, I agree with him. I didn't want to call the police either. I just wanted to beat that little nigga ass. You go fuck with somebody else, but don't fuck with mine, motherfucker. We coming for you. But I don't think he should have served 15 years in prison either. So I just think that folks need to understand that just because they're the victim, if these parents could step outside of that, yes, they should want those boys to go to jail, juvenile for what they've done, but they're all children. They should be tried as children. You know, you can put that 14-year-old in juvenile. He's 14. You can keep him till he's 21. That's 7 years. You don't think that 7 years or less is enough in juvenile for what he did? Come the fuck on. The 14-year-old boy could serve up to 7 years in juvenile. You don't think that's enough? You think we need to try him as an adult? I think 7 years is too much. He could do like 2 years in fucking juvenile and be good. And this is what I'm saying. And we got to stop letting them throw our kids away. Because we look at our children and we will say, oh, these kids is bad as fuck. But them kids, they need to be under the jail. These badass kids tearing up the neighborhood. And I would say to you, who the fuck is raising them? Who the fuck is raising them? What are they being fed every day in the media? Where the fuck are their daddies at? Is their mama ever there? Are they always coming home alone? Have they suffered from trauma? Have they been molested? Have they been raped? Have they been beat? What have they gone through? If you find a child that's a piece of shit, I promise you it's a fucking adult behind him that's a bigger piece of shit. They didn't become that piece of shit on their own. And this is my problem. We want to throw all the kids away. How did they get this way? Mama's fault, daddy's fault, the community's fault, media's fault. You shouldn't let your kids listen to kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, bitch this, bitch that, fuck a hoe, make a baby, fat wad, ride in a car, I kill a nigga, fat drugs in the back, got all these gats and shit. This is what your kids listen to all day? So you show me a crazy kid and I'm going to tell you, let's find the crazy, because they weren't born this way. So before we throw our kids away like this, can we talk about the fact as a Black community, if we care anything about one another? Yes, as adults, sometimes we can't find unity. And you know that I'm the first damn one to be like, look, if a person does something to you individually, you don't have to rock with them always. Fuck them people. But come on, these are our children. If you, right? Somebody said, can't blame music or entertainment, blame the parents or blame the kids or both. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. And matter of fact, I disagree with you based on facts. Go study psychology. and go learn something about conditioning, find out how powerful music and media is. And then I want you to also go look at not only just conditioning, but how children are developed and how the things around them affect who they become very much. Go to class, learn that, and then come back and talk to me, because that is just your opinion. I think it is ridiculous that we believe that children of this age are supposed to just be perfect citizens, and then when they're not, we don't stop to ask where the fuck they got it from. If there are kids out here running the street and they thugging, go check out their household. But also understand that all of that plays into it. What are you talking about? You know how many of these boys ain't talk? Okay, so if daddy's not around, mom is going to work a lot. But even though mom is there, but mom can't teach this boy how to be a man. She never can, even if she's there all goddamn day long, right? Where does this boy get his impression of what a man is? Music. I want to be even a big drug dealer on the block because homie got all the money, he got all the hoes. And he said to be a man, you have money, hoes, and clothes. So now they're getting their interpretation of this is what a man is because they ain't had no man in their life because mama ain't no man and can't teach them. So if we think that these things don't have any bearing on our youth, that's crazy as fuck because it very much does. You do realize that media and music and commercials and everything else is the reason why black women wear so much weave? The reason why black women run around and get lightning skin cream and shit. This is why Lil' Kim is 50 shades lighter. It affects adults in that manner. We got adults running around here living their life based on what media and society has told them is acceptable. And we don't think it's going to get our kids when it got to adults? Nah. We throw our kids away too easy. Everybody in this fucking situation is a victim, including those kids' parents. Let me tell you something from the perspective of a parent who don't want to hear your kids caught up in no shit. I know a lot of y'all, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out of here. I know it's a lot of y'all who go to work every day and you like, I do the best that I can to raise my kids. And I'm sorry to tell you, but the sad truth is if you're working every day, there's nobody at home to be with them kids. They go to public school. You are not raising your kids. Your kids are spending more time outside with outside influences than you. Okay? And so you need to understand that first and foremost. So I need us to realize that society is being very impressionable on our children. It is gearing our children where they want to go. And if you don't think that music matters, you go find me some white motherfuckers and some country motherfuckers and some rock and roll that's talking about murder, kill, fuck these bitches, and talk about their race the same way that the black music does. Shout out to you, who's who he is. We lack compassion for our own, being conditioned by the oppressor, yet to be desensitized towards one another. I agree with you so much. Making us working hands of white supremacy. And we don't even know it. Peep game. I agree with you 1,000%, brother. See, because I tell you all the time, black folks have biases against themselves. You do know that all that conditioning makes you feel that same way about black people too. We the first ones to be like, with your black ass. You so black, you purple. Ooh, don't go out in the sun right now. Black people are telling other black people that. Oh, you got good hair. Oh, your hair nappy hair. See, because we buy the conditioning too. And we begin to have biases amongst ourselves. So check this out. Just like I told you a long time ago, that the Clintons and them helped to make our children be super predators. And they told you that black kids were predators. And this is why police officers go to school and handcuff 6-year-old girls and little boys, because they don't see our children as children. They see them as thugs. And the sad part is, and yes, Michi's mad now, so you motherfuckers can say why I'm upset. The sad part is, they see our babies as thugs, but so the fuck do we. So the fuck do we. You see our black kids and you say, look at them little niggas on the corner. You say they ain't no good. You say they ain't shit. You say they need to be under the motherfucking jail. You say it so the white man don't have to. We throw our kids away. We throw them away too. So blame yourselves for we want to blame the white man when it comes to that. Because everybody in this motherfucker is a victim. The girl is the first victim, and yes, she deserves some justice. But her parents are victims. These boys can be made victims because they can be given too much of a sentence, and they can use this situation to throw those boys' lives away when they made a fucking mistake, but that girl ain't dead, and she gets to recover from it. Why the fuck won't they get a chance to recover from it? They are children. The fuck is wrong with us? And then you wonder why we have no motherfucking future for our people. We don't even have no love for our own kind. I don't know what y'all saw when I saw the video, but I saw a bunch of kids. The ones getting beat and the ones jumping on them. And I said, God damn, this is fucked up. All the way around. And I see the boy walking off with the shoes in his hand and he's smiling. And I'm just thinking, you po stupid baby. You don't know what the fuck you just did. And you the one with her shoes in your hand. Do you know this is robbery? Nah, he don't know that. He don't know that. He don't. Shout out to you, Biz Diva. I agree. Kids need a second chance, and I was glad to have given the kids who robbed my house. I believe kids can change. They were made to pay restitution. Right, right. They took some shit, make them pay for it. Don't send them kids away to jail for fucking 12 years. Shout out to you, Sid. They parents are victims too. Let me tell you something. I didn't raise my son to do no dumb shit either. And he got caught up with a crowd of motherfuckers and did some dumb shit one night in his life. And when I got that call from the police department and they was like, your son is arrested for armed robbery and we need to speak to an adult because he's a juvenile, and I was all them miles away. Oh my God. I couldn't sleep for days. I was dry heaving. Dry heaving. Wondering what the fuck is going to happen to my child. You don't think that those parents of those boys are disgusted? You don't think that they wish that their kids weren't the ones that did this? When their kids get tried and they go to juvenile or they decide to try them as an adult, and if they decide to give these boys too long sentences, don't you know that those parents are going to be locked up with them kids, that their life will forever be changed? And then you're going to have mamas running around here who is depressed because now their kids done did some shit that they would have never thought their kids would have did. And now my 14-year-old is going to prison and you're going to try my son as an adult. So even when he turned 18, you ain't going to send him home. You're going to send him off to some fucking prison with grown-ass men. And now this woman is out here suffering. Now these parents is out here feeling like shit. But you know what she got to do? She got to pick her depressed self up. She got to still go to work every day to pay her bills. And now she's in a depressed state. And maybe she ain't no good to help raise the rest of her kids. And then here comes some one chance her house been dirty. She just don't know what to do with herself. She's in a depressed state, but she don't even know what the fuck to call it. And nobody wants to get counseling for nothing because we ain't got no mental issues. And now she ain't taking care of the other kids. House dirty as fuck. Oh, God, don't let social services come along in this bitch because now they done caught you in your down season. But instead of giving you some help, they take the rest of your kids. And now she out in the streets and don't give a fuck. And we all think she a trifling-ass black woman when the truth is she hurting too. This is the fucked up cycle that continues in our fucking community every goddamn day. From the shit that happens, from the parents of those that commit these acts, to the children who commit them, to the victims of these acts, to the parents on both sides. And we got a whole lot of healing to do. And it all comes back to this. We don't talk about the trauma that causes us to be the people we are or in the positions that we're in. And guess what? If as black people, we going to keep taking this stance up. Fuck them kids, throw them away. They stupid. Fuck these people and fuck that people. My people is trifling. Then I know you don't ever expect white people to say anything any different. So people who feel that way about these kids, don't you dare get mad the next time a white person says some shit about some black kids. Don't you get mad the next time a cop hit a motherfucking child up in the subway station and beat the shit out of them because they want to know where they going. Don't even get mad. Because if you can say this about black kids and you can feel this way, then what the fuck? We are our own worst enemy before we ever worry about a white motherfucker throwing our kids away because we will do the same damn thing. So if we throwing them away, what the fuck we mad at the white man for? We're not even fighting for our kids. That's why they sit back laughing. They don't even have to do much but play music, play these games, and look at how our kids just get thrown away. And we help them do it. We help them all the time. We help them. Shout out to you, WJ. Thank you for that. And thank you for the compliment on the album. Shout out to you, Rosie. Thank you for that. So I just want us to understand this situation and look at it from a different perspective. Everybody in here, these are things that happen in our community every day. I don't give a fuck if it's on film. Kids get jumped all the time in our community. This is not something uncommon. It's just not usually a bunch of boys on a bunch of on a girl. and it's usually just not captured on video in this manner. This is not an uncommon thing. And so I want y'all to understand the dynamics from every aspect and why it is we can't move any further. Because all this situation will not be fixed if they just throw these boys in jail. There's a whole lot more we have to do. It's called counseling. It's called fucking dealing with our mental issues, dealing with the trauma in our community. Trust me. If they say, oh, these boys are going to be tried as adults and they send them off to prison for long sentences, people will be like, oh, case closed, justice. No. There will be so much more victimization and trauma caused after the fact that won't be on the news. None of us will see until these boys get out of prison 11 years later and they've been raised in prison. And you worried about them jumping a girl when they was 14 and you could have helped them figure out what the fuck is wrong with you because you're dealing with crowd effects and peer pressure. Now they get out of prison and they've been raised in prison all their young years. So now you got somebody who will kill your ass to take your shit. Now you got somebody who will shank you on the street to take your shit. Now you just have a better criminal. It doesn't benefit any of us. It doesn't benefit the black community in any goddamn way. So, like white kids, put them in juvenile. Give them some counseling. Help these black boys out so that they can be productive citizens. Because the truth of the matter is, it is a fact that psychologically, if you deal with these boys and what they've done, they have a very high percentage chance of being a very productive citizen. You don't want to be defined by the worst thing you've done in your life. And you're an adult. So why the fuck would you want to define a child by the worst thing they've done? Especially when they probably didn't realize the severity until it was over. When they were in cuffs. Then they said, shit, I didn't know this was going to lead me here. I look at kids different than adults. And the rest of us should. Because the truth of the matter is, they are different. With that said, y'all, I'm going to get the hell out of here, right? Well, just said not to beat on a girl. This day and age, you don't know shit. Men beat up on girls all the time. Boys walk around here acting like bitches all the time. Boys argue with girls. Shit, girls be ready to fight boys. What are you talking about? I've watched a girl smooth beat the shit out of a dude talking about I don't hit girls. Well, it might be time for you to start because she is whooping your ass. We live in a different day and age, y'all. You got men talking about they women in sports and breaking people's skulls. You got transgenders running around here. There's no such thing as a boy or a girl. We're all the same in their eyes today. So I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Right? Boys are bitches. They've been raised that way, and society's raised them that way. They're taking all damn daddy away. So understand that this is what you have. You have a bunch of boys that are over emotional to act like girls. Maybe we should give them some counseling and get them some male mentors in their life. Or make sure their daddy is around and hope that he will raise them, whether he pays child support or not. Because if this doesn't show you that our boys need their fathers, I don't know what the fuck does. With that said, you guys, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Let me see over here if I have anything. I didn't look. I don't want to get anybody. The cash app. Okay, PayPal. I think I was there. Shout out to y'all who in order to see these. So cash app. Shout out to you, Isaac. Shout out to you. I love you. Thank you for all your support. Isaac sent $4 and then he sent another $4 with some kissy lips. Said he loved me. I love you back. Thank you so much for my pictures. Let me get out of here for this shit cut off. Montreal sent $1 3 times. Melinda sent $5. So that was in Cash App. And then a couple of you went in here and got the album. So thank you very much for that. You guys, again, for y'all leave here, do me a favor. Hit that like button before you get out of here. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. And share this video if you can. And yeah, you guys text the word Black Agenda to 484848, you guys, so that you can stay in our texting system to be updated on everything with the Black Agenda and Michi. And we're going to start trying to send out some notifications to you guys. So when YouTube is hating, you will still get a notification. Shout out to you, Gary. Thank you for that. Thank you for everybody that gave in the chat. Again, for everybody just so that you know, you can go over to therealmichix.com and you can go ahead and you can download the album for digital download. I know a lot of you was like, we want a real CD. So you can go over there and order a CD too. So you have both choices, right? And while you there, you can get your Get Free or Die Trying shirt, or you're missing with that bullshit shirt that y'all been waiting for forever. And shout out to you that have already, got your shirts. Look, y'all see, somebody, people got some shirts that I'm rocking this to the Black Agenda. But let's hope the corona don't get crazy and we will see you at the Black Agenda. Yeah, wash your hands so we can make it to the Black Agenda, y'all. Y'all go over and check out the cities and the dates, you guys. Thank you for